Alright, on today's episode of TV Critic Review, we're checking out a new series called The Immortals. So, where we left off last time, I was reading. Let's get back to it. I think we read part 3. Yeah, we read this. Okay. Part 4. Hopefully I can finish this in just one episode. Or two. Cut to the scene where Charlie has difficulty starting his crappy car, make to be decided, and eventually gets it started. Locates the star in the middle in the sky and begins to follow it, mumbling vague curses. Back in basement, Steve downs a glass of something vile and nearly sick, but after a large ordeal manages to contain himself to much applause. Steve, bloody hell, don't we have any mixers left? Licks, nope. The closest we've got to mixers now is half a bottle of Bright Lightning cider, 8.5%. Tony, well, that's where you're wrong, actually. As it happens, I've been working on a project which just may be the solution to our little booze problem. Steve, oh yeah, what's that then? Tony, I've discovered a formula for directly altering moods in fizzy drinks. I have a crate of finished product upstairs. Steve, bollocks. Tony, here. Tony plonks down a can on the table. Try one for yourself if you don't believe me. Steve looks at can. Reluctant raspberry? Tony, it's the only one I had on me. Lex, don't you have any better flavors? Tony, moods? Lex, moods then? Tony, well, there's glum grape, vague feelings of inadequacy melon. I'd buy that. Curmudgeonly lemon, and massive kidney failure cranberry. I'd buy that. Though the last one doesn't really count because that's just what happens when you drink one. Matt, what is that? What is that? It? Tony, yeah. Well, I haven't quite figured out all the human emotions yet. Steve, I think I'll stick with reluctant cheers. Steve takes a big swig. Tony, well, how do you feel? Steve, I don't feel like any more of this. Tony, see, it works. Lex, after taking a swig. No, it just tastes like cabbagey acid sick water. Tony, well, you're not testing it properly then. Neither of you like my delicious drink apparently, ergo we would need to offer you something you would normally like in order to see whether you don't want it anymore. Matt, money. That should do the trick. Tony, nice idea. Okay. Now Steve, how would you like, grabs coins from pocket and quickly counts them, £2 and 30 pence. Steve, what, no strings? I don't have to pay you back or anything? Tony, no, take it if you can. Steve, no prob, cheers, grabs coin. Tony, well, it must not work on vampires. Lex, can we get back to the game now, please? Tony, whose go was it? Lex, mine. Shakes coins, throws them. Woo, 2 heads. Tony, drink up. Tony, fine, drinks. Lex, so that means I get another throw. Woo, 2 tails. I drink. Lex drinks. I must admit, I'm really starting to like it here. I have not felt so relaxed in years. Steve, you really feel relaxed here with us. Lex, oh yeah, on my planet it's just sex, sex, sex all the time. Honestly, you'd think an ancient hyper-adaptive race of super intelligent beings would have better things to do than just invent new holes for each other, but apparently not. Tony, sounds good to me. Where did you say your planet was again? Lex, I didn't, and besides, it isn't good. According to the elders, we had everything we could ever need, and literally we did. We only had to think of something we desired, and it would materialize in front of us. Matt, and you left to come here? You must be mad. Lex, by Hedroloxian standards, yes, I am quite eccentric, but then so were my family. Still, they followed the traditional Hedroxian values of pleasure before effort. In my opinion, it's no fun getting everything you want unless you have to work for it. Matt, now you're crazy by Earth standards too. Lex, maybe, but from what I hear, everyone's mad on this planet anyway. You've all been out in the sun too long, if you ask me. Tony, what makes you think we're not all sex-obsessed on Earth then? Lex, are you kidding me? You lot are the most repressed species in the history of everything. That's why I came here. Take Steve, for example. He blatantly has not even had sex. Steve, who, me? Steve, the psychopath? Never had sex? Dream on. Tony, you pull a lot of girls with that name, don't you? Matt, it could be true. He hasn't been with anyone since that girl, Vicky, in 6th form? Oh, it's like, wait, grade? Oh, Oof. Steve, will you stop telling people things about my past? Matt, will you stop having me killed? Tony, whoa, will the pathetic virgin and the vile corpse please shut up so I can hear more from our sensuous alien friend? Tony puts hand on Lick's knee. Licks, don't even think about it. Wax hand off. Steve, hey, watch who you're calling names, you poncy twat. If I'm a virgin, you're at least a date rapist. Tony, you better watch your mouth, you little man, before you open a kettle of clenched fist. Steve, think you're hard, do you? Well, I'm freaking psychopath, yeah? I could take you any day. Tony, if you contemptible piss weasel, if it's a fight you want, how about you really put your balls on the table? Steve, what do you mean? I mean a duel, right now, outside, in the garden. Lex, oh no, not again. Steve, a duel? Okay, using what? Tony, using these. Tony produces 2 previously hidden gold-plated hunting pistols from his waistband and puts them on the table, sliding one towards Steve. Matt, whoa. Tony, these are gold-plated TC Encore hunting pistols. Takes only one 454 Casol bullet in the chamber so make sure you aim before pulling the trigger. Steve, where did you get these? Tony, from in my trousers. Now, are we going to do this thing or what? Steve, too right. I'm going to take you down, old man. Tony, in your dreams. Tony and Steve dash for the exit, guns in hand. Lex, that's the 3rd time this week. Matt, yeah, well, at least you can't say things are boring around here. Lex, yeah, that's true. Aw, what is it? Or, Matt, what is it? Lex, I just hope Charlie's okay. We probably shouldn't have let him go off on his own like that. Matt, I'm sure it'll be a piece of piss. It's not like it's his first time out in the field. I bet he's just bored sitting in his car waiting somewhere. Lex, yeah, you're probably right. This part 4, part 5. Cut to a corridor intersection, red alarms flashing. Charlie dashes around a corner and into view, pressing himself against a wall. A few seconds later, several armed guards run past the intersection, missing Charlie. He lets out a sigh of relief and begins to back down the corridor, looking at his phone, muttering, Charlie, come on, God almighty. You'd think a picture would be simple enough. Charlie backs into another person walking backwards the opposite way. They spin around, confront one another. Charlie and Danny, don't shoot. Charlie, you're not going to shoot me? Danny, no, I hadn't planned that. You're not going to shoot me? Charlie, do you see a gun? Danny, no, but this is my first time out of the lab, so I'm being extra careful. Charlie, what do you mean? Oh, never mind. Look, maybe you can help me. Charlie's phone beeps. Charlie, finally, image of Danny appears on the phone. Charlie, you? Danny, me? Charlie, you're a super soldier? Danny, yep, Delta Tech Augmented Nanosynthetic Combat Unit 000232.1 Beta. He's a beta. Though my friends call me Danny. I'm one of the original super soldiers. Charlie, you don't look like a super soldier. Danny, that's what they said. Said my hair grew too long, that I didn't look imposing enough, that my optical units weren't malfunctioning. Now I'm the only one left. Charlie, that sounds like a fascinating story, but right now we've got about 4 minutes to get the hell out of here before I, and this entire facility are wiped off the face of Earth. Now, do you know a back way out of here? Danny, no, I've never left the lab before. Charlie, well, that's just perfect. Here we are trapped in Sod's labyrinth that's about to implode. Is there anything you can do? Danny, I can access the local structure for internal weakness and possibly create a new exit. Charlie, okay, fine, you do that then. Danny looks around slowly before punching through a wall, creating an exit to the outside of the building. Danny, how's that then? Charlie, not bad, let's go. Charlie and Danny rush out through the hole. In the garden, Steve and Tony are pacing about whilst Mlix and Matt look on. Matt, how long have they been building up to this now? Mlix, must be 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes? Come on, shoot each other already. Tony, right, I'm going to give you one last chance to take back that date rapist remark. Steve, you must be joking. Why are you that bothered about it if you've got nothing to hide? Tony, a gentleman's reputation is his own responsibility, and I take mine very seriously indeed. And besides, why are you getting so wound up about being called a virgin? Steve, oh, that's it, your history. Steve fires vaguely in Tony's direction. Tony avoids the bullet. Steve, piss. Tony, now that was totally against the rules. Steve, well, what are you going to do, shoot me? Tony walks up and shoots Steve in the knee. He falls to the floor swearing. Cut to Danny and Charlie in the car. Danny, gunshots, 2 about 600 yards up ahead. Charlie, that's our place. Danny, sounds like a 454 round. Haven't heard one of those since advanced weapon training. Charlie, probably Steve and Tony dueling in the garden again. Danny, oh, right. Do you get a lot of gunfights around here then? Charlie, well, yes, but not as often as the sword fights. Those two just don't seem to get along. Danny, what are they like, the others that you live with? Charlie, well, you can find out in just one moment. We're almost there. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. Charlie takes eyes off road. Danny, whoa, watch out for that bloke. Matt is standing in the road in a defensive posture. The car passes through him. He pretends to be hit. Man, Matt, don't worry about him. That's just his little joke. He's a ghost, you see. Matt is standing behind the car, waving. Danny, oh, right, makes sense. Charlie, well, we're here. Looks like everyone's come to greet us. Come on, I'll get you introduced. Well, Matt, you've already met. This is our alien friend, Mlix. She's a shapeshifter. Danny, hello, Mlix. Mlix, nice to meet you. Charlie, and this bloke she's propping up is our resident DJ and vampire, Steve. Danny, hello, Steve. Steve, so you're a super soldier then? Danny, yeah. Steve, cool. Charlie, finally, this is Tony. He's an inventor from the future who ended up trapped in our time. Tony, greetings. Charlie, everyone, this is Danny. Now, if it's okay with you lot, I'm gonna go relax for a few hours. Tony, sounds good to me. Tell me, Danny, when was the last time you got pissed? Danny, what? Tony, inebriated, intoxicated, bladdered, shit-faced, rat-tarsed, yeltsined. Mlix, he means, have you ever been drunk? Danny, oh, right, drunk. No, I don't think so. I don't even think I can get drunk. Tony, we'll have to see about that. They go inside. So I'm just wondering, are these parts like different episodes, or is it just like cut sequences? I'm guessing it's cut sequences. This seems like all one episode. 1 hour later, they are gathered around a table in a bar. Danny is drinking. Lex, 2 heads again. Yay, that means I get to make up a new rule. Okay, what have we got so far then? Danny, left hand drinking, no swearing, no pointing, lick the car battery before every drink, no guns, no knives, no corkscrews. Charlie, I think I can amend the next few rules by creating a new one barring weapons of any description. Steve, oh come on. Tony, bollocks. Lex, no swearing, Tony, drink up. Tony, and no pointing, after you. Lex, okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Lex and Tony down some weird fluorescent drink. Both look disgusted. Lex coughing, refreshing. Tony strained, yes, quite sweet, but I think I'll tweak the ingredients slightly before the next batch. Steve, and you both forgot to lick the battery. Tony and Lex take turns to lick the battery and have another drink. Lex, I've got an idea. What about after we lick the battery, if we all have to do a little dance, a bit like this? Lex gets up, does the mad improvised dance. Steve, no chance. Tony, you've got to be kidding. Charlie, I came down here for a nice relaxing drinking game, not drunken acrobatics. Lex, well, it's not like you lot couldn't do with some exercise. Tony, I'll have you know I'm in peak physical condition. Danny, me too. I was created to be the fittest organism on the planet. Tony, to be honest, you look like you'd lose in a fight with a paper bag. Danny, that's not true. I'm super strong. I'm super strong, me. Tony, prove it. All right. Danny, all right. Then what's the heaviest thing you've got in the house? Tony, that would have to be the ship's engine. Yeah, I keep it in the closet over there. Danny, why have you got a ship's engine in the closet? Tony, sentimental reasons. It was my mother's. Danny, okay then. Danny goes to the closet, grabs the ship's engine. Danny, lose fight with a paper bag, eh? Watch this. Tony, careful with that. Danny carries the ship's engine out of sight and up the stairs and plonks it down noisily. He returns to the basement, dusting his hands. Tony, alright, I'm convinced. Lex, right, if you lot are done proving your masculinity again, we can get back to our game. Where were we? Oh yeah, new rule. Right, I've got another one. How about no one can talk to Matt, but Matt can say anything he likes to try it and put us off. Steve, that's a good idea. Would give him something to do. Matt, so none of you can talk to me, but I can do anything I want to freak you out, yay? Yeah? Charlie, I think that's the general idea, yes. Matt, got you already. Charlie, that's fine. It's been a while anyway. Licks, battery, and drinks. Right, can we get this game moving again now? Licks, Danny's go. Danny throws coins. Danny, 2 tails, so I drink. Okay, pass the battery. Danny, lick battery, drinks, burps, wobbles, and throws coins again. Danny, another 2 tails, me again. Repeats procedure slower. Danny, I feel strange. Tony, see, he's pissed. Didn't even take very long. Licks, well, how do you feel? Danny, I think I'm about to. Danny falls off his stool. Danny, fall down? Licks, you okay, Danny? Danny, yeah, I'm fine. I think I'm just gonna lie here for a while until the room settles down, if you don't mind. All further events are seen over the shoulder of Danny as he sleeps in and out of consciousness, blurred, and in the background music is playing. Time skips by behind Danny as he lies on the floor, then time slows down again. Charlie drunkenly, no, it's not creationalism. Why do you always have to jump to the most absurd conclusions? Tony drunkenly, sounds very much like it to me. Steve, two heads. Mlix, get it down, yeah? Matt, anyone mind if I skip this track? Steve, no way, this is a classic. Matt, Mlix, Tony, and Charlie, drink, 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 drink. Time speeds up again, slows down again. Charlie, for the final time. Look, for the final time, no. Tony drunkenly, I distinctly remember no one saying anything about grins. Mlix, that's true. Charlie drunkenly, that's irregardless of the matter at hand, which was Tony didn't say Rumpel Twatskin before his last go. Tony, yes I did. Charlie, no you didn't. Tony, yes I did. Charlie, no you didn't. Tony flips the table. They continue arguing as time speeds up and slows down again. Steve is standing on a table holding the grenade. Tony, get down now and put it down before I lamp you. Steve, alright, fine, but I get another go. Tony, whatever, just give it here. Charlie drunkenly, isn't there supposed to be a pin in that or something? Steve, well don't look at me, chuck it over there. Matt, away from the telly, sound of grenade hitting the floor and muffled explosion. Danny looks pleased by the sound. Time speeds up and slows down again as Mlix is propping a pillow under Danny's head. Charlie is being sick in the background. Tony is snoring loudly. Steve drunkenly, that's it, I need bed too. You and Mlix's. Steve crawls away to his bedroom. Mlix, yay. Mlix passes out just behind Danny. Time carries on in a blur until a sunbeam shining directly into Danny's face awakens him. Normal viewing angles resume. Around Danny, everything is a mess. Danny, what's wrong with me, head? Mlix, don't worry, you just need some water. Tony, or a swig of this, here. Tony waves a flask in front of Danny's face. Danny gets a whiff and is sick on the floor. Charlie, oh great, more mess. Matt, yeah, well, at least the telly survived. Creaking noise before the ship's engine falls through the ceiling, crushes TV, end credits, etc. Okay, so that was all one episode. Right. We read 6, yeah. Okay. Episode guide. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Episode 2, History. The gang get to know new member Danny better by describing how they all came to live in the house and pool their intellects to try and come up with a plan to earn more money. Episode 3, Hobbies. The gang try and invent new ways to pass the time, including games with dice, lighters, and firearms. Meanwhile, Steve tries to think of ways to impress the girl who works in the local late-night petrol station. Episode 4, Curry. Steve cooks a curry for everyone with some extra special mushroom ingredients. Meanwhile, Mlix's parents have chosen to pay it an impromptu visit. Episode 5, Film. Tony makes a documentary disproving the existence of God, which achieves critical acclaim, and as a result of a drop-off in belief, God decides to move in with the gang in order to plan his next move. A panel show to prove his own existence. Highlights include the slaughter of a live pig followed by an animal's subsequent resurrection. I would totally watch that show. That episode, at least. Episode 6, Life. Tony's human synthesis device is completed, with which he can bring his assistant Nova to life. After some persuasion, he agrees to modify the machine to give Matt a new body, with disastrous flesh-eating consequences. Episode 7, Contract. Steve and Matt's new record actually makes the big time on the underground rave scene, and the duo are offered a contract on a major label, but both have to be present at the signing. Can they manage to turn up on time and give a good impression without accidentally killing anyone? Episode 8, Enemy. Immortals are disappearing all over the world, and in many cases turning up inexplicably dead. The best have already fallen. Can the worst figure out who's responsible and stop them in time? Thought of and written by David Meister. Email djmaestro1@hotmail.com. Huh. Alright. Guess that's the mod author. I might email him. Ask him if he's got like a Patreon or something for this series. I mean, this mod is really old, but maybe he's got something. He's got a YouTube channel, maybe. I can check it out. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. Alright. That was a lot of reading. It was like 20 minutes. Okay. We already read what was upstairs, right? Charlie's Terminal? Yeah, we read that. Here's the ship's engine. Oh, we haven't been in here. Oh, a chainsaw. Hunting revolver. Okay. Tony's Terminal. Environment analysis. Local environment seems to consist mainly of sand and stone. Some radiation permeates the area, but for the most part, the air filter checks come back cleaner here than back home. Then again, that may have just been due to our old house's general background smell biasing the results. Nonetheless, the whole area is filled with mutants and homicidal maniacs, which make for an entertaining atmosphere. Strangely enough, when I tried analyzing one of the local mutants' DNA under one of my own portable microscopes, it appeared to become more and more pixelated as I zoomed in, like it was a computer-generated image. The same happening with sand, whiskey, a printed photo, and even my own knee. However, after checking again with the locally salvaged equipment, I was able to perform a full autopsy and analysis on another local mutant with no more problems. It turned out just to have been a really big scorpion. I'll have to recheck the calibration of my personal equipment when I get back home. Much of the local area seems to resemble Las Vegas from our own reality, but on a much smaller scale. It looked like it would be fun here at first, but it turns out there's no point gambling unless I want to take home a stash of worthless bottle caps. Strangest thing is, we seem to be trapped here. I discovered some kind of invisible wall high up on a cliff face that seems to be totally impenetrable. I had Danny check out a few other locations to be sure, and from the look of it, we are boxed into some kind of huge valley. How this happened or why, I have yet to establish. There's little value about, though. Danny's managed to salvage a decent-sized ship's engine to remind me of home. Right now, I just want to get out of here and back to my own world and Nova. Mood Pop recipes. Glum grape, unworkable with local ingredients. Apple variant. Reluctant raspberry, 90% of ingredients available. Found everything but the ham. Petrified peach, unworkable. Vague feelings of inadequacy melon, unworkable. Sweaty strawberry, unworkable. Falling down a well orange, unworkable. Massive kidney failure cranberry, 100% ingredients available. 6 Nuka-Cola victories, 3 whiskeys, 1 yeast, 1 Hydra, 1 cherry bomb, 1 Abraxa cleaner. Yeah, I can see where the kidney failure comes from. Makes approximately 8 bottles. The Hydra ingredient actually counteracts the kidney failure mid-process. Makes for quite an unusual experience. I still doubt there would be much demand for it. That'd be cool if we actually unlocked that recipe. Okay. I know we still have the basement to check out. I don't know if I've ever actually been down to their basement before. Interesting. about that. All the drugs could ever need. Ooh, yeah. Nope. No sleep for the wicked. No sleep for me. Is there no terminals down here? Oh, there's one right there. Okay. Steve's terminal. Hunting shotgun. Alright, Steve, what do you got on here? Matt is dead. Again. We'd only been out here about an hour when Matt managed to run straight into a minefield. It was quite spectacular in all fairness. He bounced around 3 times and kept landing on another mine. I got the last bit of on my phone, so at least he was able to watch some of it after. I don't have the equipment to give him another body here, so we've had to put his old body in the freezer and buried it to keep it preserved. If he can possess his old corpse again, Tony thinks we can get him back home once he is done with his new machine. Oh well, it's back to haunting everyone for him again. Random drug tests. Abundant drugs here. They are almost as common as food. I killed a bunch of dickheads who were crucifying some kids over to the east. Their blood tasted fine, but I should have let the kids go before tucking in. I could still hear them screaming after they had fled the valley. Anyway, I sold her crap to a traveling doctor, Ada I think her name was, who gave me access to a steady supply of blood packs and various drugs. I thought I'd document their effects. Jet. Nice at first. Adrenaline, big head rush. Made me want to run outside and attack a cactus with a baseball bat. Effects wore off after a few minutes. Psycho. Intense feelings of anger coupled with a loss of fear and topped off with a vague sense of worthlessness. Made me actually go outside and attack a cactus with a baseball bat, along with a giant rat and an old bench. Wore off pretty quick again. Mentats, nice. All around relaxed buzz, feeling of confidence, and even seems to improve eyesight. Like all other, it wore off after a stupid amount of time, but I take about 4 packs at once. It makes my head feel like an overinflated balloon stuck inside a velvet box. Buff out. Seemed like steroids of some kind. No real visual effects, though taking a handful made my foot swell up to the size of a dog. At least it did return to normal after Tony shot it. I can't complain. After all, I put a frag mine under his mattress last week. At least we were all sleeping outside, so it didn't break anything this time. Hardcore. None of the terminals around here are compatible with USB technology, so once my MP3 player died, I thought I was going to go crazy. Luckily, there's some kind of underground settlement nearby where they actually play hardcore music. They call it free tech here, but it's just as good as the real thing. Well, for the most part anyway. Me, Mlix, and Matt are off to the tower where the broadcasts have been coming from to learn a bit more. Fun fact, actually, I saw a YouTube video on it. If you can find a set of train tracks, you can actually charge your phone and I'm sure an MP3 player off of the current that runs on the tracks. Not on the third rail, but there's like a current that runs on the tracks and it's used for sensors, like for railroad crossings, to detect if a train's coming, so it knows to put down the crossing arms. And apparently with a couple wires you can actually just charge your phone off that. Kind of interesting. Alright, well that is the Immortals. I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna dismiss you. Yeah, is that That's not dismissed, is it? That's not dismissed. How do you dismiss you? Oh. Go back to your shack. Oh, okay. I was gonna say this. I'd rather come here than go through the labyrinth of the underground for you. Alright, so yeah, this episode's about 30 minutes now. I'm gonna cut pretty soon, and when we get back, we're gonna go back down to that military complex we were in, and like I said, we're gonna check out the part that links up with it's like a train tunnel. Yeah, it goes over to like some Legion caves that'll connect over to Boulder City. So we're gonna go do that in just a second here. Alright, we'll see you guys then. Meantime, take care.
Hello.
Hello to you too.